Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through some player props I like over on Prizepicks for this Thursday night football game, the Week 14 Thursday night football game between the Packers and the Lions. This is a really good Thursday night game, and this is one that I'm excited for. I got two player props that I do like on Prizepicks for this game that we're going to break down and discuss in this video. Now, as always, before we do get started, make sure you guys hit that like button down below if you do enjoy these Prizepicks videos. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you guys are new to Prizepicks, and if you don't have an account over on Prizepicks, be sure to sign up. Use promo code NOAH when you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and place your first lineup. You'll get $50 in promo funds instantly added to your account. So this is a cool promotion Prizepicks is doing. Sign up, deposit. You only have to put in $10. You put in $10, play a $5 lineup. Even if you lose that $5 lineup, Prizepicks is going to give you $50 to play with that you can then use, to play additional lineups. Any money you win off those is credit, which you can play with or withdraw if you want to do so. So go check out Prizepicks, and again, use that promo code NOAH if you have not yet. Now, do also want to shout out Sleeper because we do have a partnership with Sleeper as well. You can sign up for Sleeper. Use promo code NOAH over there. Get your first deposit matched up to $1,500. So normally, Sleeper matches your first deposit up to $100. They still do that. But now you can deposit up to $1,500 and they will still match that 100%. So this is a new promo that they're doing for new users. So if you already have a Sleeper account, this doesn't apply to you. But if you don't have a Sleeper account, this is definitely an incentive to sign up. Sleeper is taking in larger deposits, still going to give you that full 100% deposit match bonus up to $1,500. So if you put in $1,500, they'll give you an additional $1,500 to play with. Obviously, you don't have to put in that much money. It's totally up to you. But if you are someone that does have the funds, if you are able to deposit and make a bigger deposit like that, you will get that first deposit match up to $1,500. Just make sure to use that promo code NOAH when you do sign up for Sleeper. So go check them out if you guys have not yet. But let's go ahead and discuss the two player props I'm liking on Prizepicks for this Thursday night football game. Again, a really good one. I'm excited for this one. Packers and Lions. So the first prop that I do like for this game is going to be a pass yards prop. We're going to take Jordan Love for more than 252.5 pass yards. Now this line was at 251.5 right before I started recording this video. It got bumped up a yard. I'm still okay playing it at 252.5. And if you look at Jordan Love's recent games lately, he has gone over this line 3 out of 5 for what it's worth. But you look at this matchup against Detroit. This is a spot where I think we're definitely going to have to see Jordan Love, air the ball out a little bit more. The Packers are going on the road. They're underdogs in this game, 3-point underdogs. Detroit has been beating the crap out of everybody this season. Now, clearly the sports books are not expecting Detroit to go in there and beat the crap out of Green Bay because it's only a 3-point spread in this game. But with how good this Detroit team has been, I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit does get out to an early lead. But either way, Detroit has been kind of a pass funnel this season, largely part of that due to their defense and part of that due to the fact that they've just beat up on everybody. So teams have kind of been forced to throw against Detroit. But if you look at what Detroit has done against the run, they've been really good at stopping the run. They're giving up the third fewest rush yards to running backs this season. They're giving up the fewest rush attempts overall. Teams are just not really running much against Detroit. Now we'll see about how that plays out in this game because obviously Green Bay has a good run game. Josh Jacobs has been running the ball really well lately. We'll see how effective Josh Jacobs can be in this matchup. But just playing into the game script here, going on the road as underdogs, definitely think this is a game where we will see Jordan Love kind of forced to throw a little bit more. You look at his pass attempts line. That line is set at 33. So clearly the sportsbooks are expecting more pass attempts for Jordan Love here. He hasn't gone over this line and he's only gone over this in 1 out of his last 5 games. And clearly, the books are expecting him to throw the ball more here. And if you look at games this season where Jordan Love has had at least 30 pass attempts, in those games he has had 260, 389, 258, 220, 273 passing yards. So, every game except one this season where he had at least 30 pass attempts, Love did go over this pass yards line. Now, Love, in terms of completion percentage and stuff like that, he's not been super accurate this season. He does have just a 63% completion percentage, which does rank below league average. But Love is a quarterback that will take deep shots. And obviously, when you're betting on a guy to go over pass yards, you want to see him throwing the ball deep down the field because obviously it's easier to get pass yards when you're taking shots like that, and you can get those long completions, those long pass plays that chunk add up for chunk yards. Either way, though, I like this matchup for Jordan Love facing Detroit, a team that's been a pass funnel this season, a team that has been beatable through the air. Detroit does rank top 10 in terms of pass yards allowed to quarterbacks this season. And if we look at like what quarterbacks have done against Detroit, if you want to factor that in, guys have had success through the air against this Detroit team. I mean, Geno Smith threw for 395 yards. Matthew Stafford threw for 317. These teams actually did play recently, a few weeks ago, and that game was in Green Bay. That was a game where it was raining. It was really bad weather. It was windy as well. Jordan Love still threw for 273 yards against Detroit when they played back in Green Bay. Well, this game's going to be played in Detroit in a dome. So obviously in a dome, that's better conditions just for offense in general. It's, you tend to see games be higher scoring when they're played indoors versus when they're played, outside, whether with weather, whether it's cold or whatever it may be. It's going to be easier for offensive or for teams to put up offensive touchdowns and put up points when it's no weather concerns, when they're able to move the ball down the field easier, not have to worry about wind affecting anything. So that's why you typically see games have higher totals when they're played indoors, and this game does have a high total. I think it's like 51.5. So I think we're going to see some offense in this game. I think we're going to see some points being put up, and we know this Detroit team is good, and they're going to put up points. I think Green Bay is going to have to kind of try and keep up with them. That's going to lead to more pass attempts for Jordan Love. That's hopefully going to lead to more pass yards as well. And like I said, quarterbacks have had success through the air against this Detroit team. And even if you look at what teams have done against Detroit when they've had to play them in Detroit, so when they've played them in the dome, on Thanksgiving, Caleb Williams threw for 256. Mac Jones, not a great quarterback, only had 138 pass yards. But Mason Rudolph had 266. Geno Smith, 395. Baker Mayfield only had 185 pass yards against Detroit, but he also only had 19 pass attempts in that game. And then Matthew Stafford, we talked about him, 317 against these Detroit teams. So when quarterbacks have gone into Detroit in the dome, they've typically played well. They've been able to put up big pass games. And I think we definitely could see that be the case here for Jordan Love in a game where he's probably going to be forced to throw the ball more, as underdogs facing a good run defense, a team that's been good at stopping the run this year and has kind of forced teams into throwing the ball more. So I do like that as our first prop for Thursday night. Jordan Love, more than 252.5 pass yards. And then on the other side, we're going to take a receiving yards prop, and I like Jahmyr Gibbs for more than 19.5 receiving yards. So when it comes to this Lions backfield, they pretty much do like a 50-50 split between Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. You can just look at the snap count this season, and that's pretty much been the case. Typically, Montgomery plays like 50 to 60% of the snaps, and Gibbs plays the other 40% or 45%. So far this season, it's basically been a 50-50 split. Most weeks, Gibbs actually outsnaps Montgomery, but some weeks, depending on game script, Montgomery might see more snaps than Gibbs. If you actually look lately, it's been Gibbs getting a good amount of snaps. Like the Week 12 game, he played 67% of the snaps. Last week, he played 46%. The week before that, 42%, but then he did play 60% of the offensive snaps. And again, I think that's largely just kind of due to game script. So it seems like the games where the Lions get out to big leads, those are typically going to be games that favor David Montgomery a little bit more, just because David Montgomery is kind of their early down back. He's the guy that they'll use in first and second downs, and then when it comes to like 2-minute drills, passing situations, third downs, that's when you see Jahmyr Gibbs on the field a lot. So any passing situations, whether it be third down, third and long, 2-minute drill, stuff like that, those are times when you're going to see Jahmyr Gibbs out there. And Jahmyr Gibbs, when he's been in the NFL so far, it's obviously a small sample. He's only been in the NFL for 2 years, but he's been a really good pass catcher. This season, he's already racked up 282 receiving yards. He's over this line in 7 out of his 12 games this season. And if you look at the games where he went under, so he did go under in Week 4 against Seattle, but Jared Goff also only threw 18 pass attempts that week. Now, Jared Goff did still throw for like 200. He still threw for 292 yards on only 18 pass attempts, but it makes sense to see Gibbs not really be involved in the passing game when Goff only had 18 pass attempts. And then Gibbs did go under against Tennessee in that game. Jared Goff only had 15 pass attempts, only threw for 85 yards. So kind of makes sense why Gibbs went under that week. And then in the game against Green Bay, which was this matchup we saw a few weeks ago, Gibbs did go under against Green Bay when they played a few weeks ago, but we talked about that game. It was in Green Bay. There was really bad weather. It was cold. It was windy. I think it was raining too. And in that game, Jared Goff only had 22 pass attempts, only threw for 145 yards. So Gibbs did go under that week, but then he went under he went over against Houston, against Jacksonville. Last 2 weeks, Gibbs has gone under this line the last 2 weeks, and Goff has had some decent passing games, but like even last week, Goff still only threw for 221. But you look at Goff's pass yard line this week, it's set at 250.5. Goff has not been going over that line a ton lately, because some of that due to game script, some of that just due to the fact that he hasn't really been throwing the ball a ton. And that's just mainly been because this Detroit team has not been forced into situations where they really had to throw, just because they've been so effective on the ground. They've been scoring touchdowns quickly, which has just led to them being able to kind of chew the clock. I don't know if this is going to be a situation where Detroit's going to get out to a big lead. I mean, they could. They've been so good this year, but this definitely should be a more competitive game. And I think in more competitive games, we'll see more pass attempts for Jared Goff. We'll see more pass plays in general. And in passing situations, we talked about it, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be on the field. He's going to be out there catching passes. He's a super explosive running back. I mean, it doesn't take much for him to get 20 receiving yards. He could go over this line on one catch. He could get a screen pass, get some good blocking, and he could easily get 20 receiving yards on one catch. And I think this is a pretty good matchup for him against Green Bay. I know he went under last time they played Green Bay, but we talked about that weather in that game. Goff was not very good in that game either. I expect Goff to be a lot better here at home, where he has historically played a lot better. And this is a matchup that should be good for Jahmyr Gibbs. You look at where the Packers rank this season in terms of receiving yards allowed to running backs. They're top 10 in receiving yards allowed to running backs. They're top 10 in receptions allowed to running backs and targets too. So running backs have had success in the passing game against this Green Bay team. You look at what running backs have done against them. Devon Achane had a big game through the air, 8 catches, 56 yards. Amari DiMercato, 5 catches, 39 yards. Christian McCaffrey, 3 catches, 37 yards. Even Dave Montgomery, he had a good game through the air. Last time these teams played, 3 catches, 23 yards. James Conner, 4 catches, 22 yards. Dearness Johnson had 1 catch for 20 yards. So we've seen running backs, especially running backs that are used in the passing game, be effective versus Green Bay. Now, sure, there's a lot of other running backs that have gone under this line, but a lot of those running backs that have gone under this line are not running backs that really get much involvement in the passing game. Well, Jahmyr Gibbs is a running back that will get a lot of involvement in the passing game. Typically, we can expect him to get like 3 to 4 targets. He's a super explosive running back. It doesn't take much for him to get 20 yards. Again, he could get this in 1 catch. So I do like this play quite a bit. And I was looking around at some sports books. Pretty much every sports book, every other site has this line set at 20.5. I know 20.5, 19.5, obviously not a big difference there, only 1 yard. But you'd be surprised that 1 yard can sometimes mean winning and losing. I wouldn't be surprised if Gibbs had 20 yards and you get the line at 19.5, you win. You get the line at 20.5, you lose. Sometimes that's how it is. So I do like this line at 19.5 on Prizepicks. Like this as our second prop for this Thursday night football game. So 2 plays, guys. Hopefully we can hit both these plays Thursday night, make some money on this slate. As always, I do appreciate you guys watching these Prizepicks videos. Make sure you hit that like button down below. If you did enjoy, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. And again, if you guys don't have a Prizepicks account, go sign up. Use that promo code NOAH. And when you place your first lineup, you'll get $50 in promo funds instantly added to your account. Be sure to go check out Prizepicks if you guys have not yet. But good luck tonight. Thanks for watching. We will see you guys in the next video.